Ladies and gentlemen, how you all doing? This is Colin Ulrich.
And I'm Rangru. Hello.
And folks, today on Slutsk West, we actually have a user-submitted replay. Super excited to see this. Rang, who's duking it out?
In the left-hand side in blue, we have the Chickendew playing as Rindhound with balanced income. And on the right-hand side, we have Otto von Matic playing as group Vyborg with a very flat line of an income.
Well, I think the flatline income is because these are so automatic that he is just trying to maintain that transmission doesn't want to get overworked, man. So,
Easy on the manual.
Yes, exactly. But a big thank you to the user who did send this to us. We don't want to reveal that too early on here. I'm sure you guys understand casting curse and all that. If we say who actually gave it to us, they might lose.
Exactly. We can just change predefined events retroactively.
Well, you know what? Every now and again, I kind of wonder if all of our fighting here on these maps was had any kind of influence back then. You know, we call it like whole butterfly effect in reverse. That's how that works, right?
I think so.
Well, of course, we are going to see the Fintown Division up against Tyrannia, like you said. So early on here, we do have a little bit of Chernos and Chokis kind of going to the northern town. We were actually just Chernos being lopped really in every single direction.
Yeah, just throwing them left, right, and center.
And the kind of standard opening, I would say, over here from Chickendew, in terms of bringing in those Pigrens, bringing in those light vehicles. But I also see we have a Panther or two, don't we? At least one Panther. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, we got one Panther kind of in the middle here. So maybe we'll see like another middle push, which is usually a very good idea if you got tank advantage. But yeah, I mean, Otto is pushing pretty heavy up north with the Cherno spam and KV1s, getting some T-34s down south. I'm guessing the southern side is going to be pretty quiet, as usually neither side likes pushing heavy at Ray.
That's possible. I do see a couple T-34 76s, the 43 variant over here is getting brought on in. Ooh, actually up to the north. KV1 is asserting itself by taking out a couple of those lighter vehicles. Dueling now with a P3L. These guys don't really get enough credit sometimes. Those P3Ls are extremely deadly.
Yeah, the APCR cells definitely give them a little bit more packing of a punch, and you usually think of, but for 40 points, they're not that bad. Yes, you could argue it's not as good as the T-34 76, whatnot, but they're pretty good.
Actually, I do like a couple of things going on here. We actually see a couple of flamethrower tanks being brought on in early on by Automatic. These guys barely ever see any play because they have a paper for armor, but always amusing to see those lesser utilized vehicles here.
Yeah, I believe the early version of those tanks, they use them like, what's it called, remote control? They're called tally tanks. Use them to assault fortified positions from a safe distance. Yeah, it was a thing that Soviets experimented on in the late 30s, I believe. Kind of like how the Germans did the whole Goliath thing, the Soviets just did it with a T-26 tank instead.
Well, and then they tried doing it with dogs, too, which was an abominable experiment in my mind, but apparently they weren't quite the same kind of level of animal rights as we have today.
It was those poor dogs.
Oh, you know what? At least on the plus side, the dogs got their revenge by taking the Soviet tanks instead. But one P3L does go down, that KV1, definitely making its presence felt. Other one kind of withdrawing and a little bit of disorder to the south. And not for nothing, the heavier tanks, I would argue, of Tyrannia are definitely asserting themselves in the early moments of this match. Yeah,
these KV1s are proving quite well against the Panzer IIIs and other light vehicles that Rindhound really has to play with. I do like how Chickendew is using that mortar half-track to good effect. Always gotta love the use of mortar half-tracks. And Chickendew is definitely focusing a lot on tanks, getting another Panther up north. I feel like he's just amassing a force up north and then down south, and then he's gonna do, one big tank push, which is a pretty good idea on such an open map like this.
I am slightly concerned, though, because those ZIS-2s, and for the life of me, by the way, I do not recall the difference between a ZIS-2 and a ZIS-3. I think it's just maybe a slight up on caliber?
It's funny, the ZIS-2 has a 57mm gun, and it's like high penetration. The ZIS-3 is 76mm, lower penetration, but better high explosive, and use of indirect fire.
So I wonder if the ZIS-2 then was a Lend-Lease kind of piece here, or if that was...
It's pretty funny. The short story is that the Soviets had this too in 41, and they had them in frontline service, but they didn't really need them so much in 41 because their guns, the 45 mils, were more than enough to deal with the Panzer IIs and weakly armored Panzer IIIs and IVs of the time. So they pulled them out of service, and then after the heavier tanks started coming in, like, oh shit, we kind of need this gun again, and they started to put it back into service. So just run it as this 3 instead of a lower velocity, more useful high explosive. That's just a very basic.
No, but you know what? Honestly, that's definitely worth hearing. We are going to see our first airplanes coming on, and we see Junkers going after that Zis-2 on that central hill. There are, by the way, 120mm stovepipes looking from the Soviet side towards that Möbelwagen on the opposite ridge. Worth noting, those poor mortar half-track did go down, and I think the anti-tank gun's going to follow the same way here. Yes, he does.
It was a little bit in the open, but yeah, lovely to the Stukia. And he's got a second one still with a full bomb load, so maybe he'll find a worthwhile target. 120 mils.
Yes.
Really good call. We really hardly see 120 mil mortars being used anymore ever since they've been nerfed, like, quite a while ago. But they're still pretty good. I mean, it is...
If they don't get dumped on.
Yeah. Which they do, but not only 2 casualties, not bad.
I am also mildly amused by the fact that we have these T-34-76s in this forest, and there's not really much of a line against them at the moment. They're actually missing their opportunity as these P-3Ls come up. Yeah. But hey, that's what happens when you don't have any kind of recon.
Yeah. But the T-34's in a good defensive position at least, just to hold the line. Like I said, I think neither side is super concerned with a push down south. I mean, especially for Chickendew, because he's got those 2, like, southern flags, like, on the 50-50 line, which is all you really need.
That certainly seems to be the case. Now, up north, though, we are seeing the P3Ls running kind of a meat shield for that Panther A. And I love actually seeing that P3, P4 Fuhrer in a Panther.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of slowly aggressive, maybe try to screen away that KV. But they're going to find themselves starting getting engaged by everything here. Track's broken on 1 KV, but yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, Panthers. I mean, we got a Panzer III, a Panzer IV, and a Panzer V all lined up.
True. I'm actually kind of curious to see the 57 mils. Actually, if the 57 mil gets forward, that could be a turkey shoot though for him.
Hopefully, this 2 is smart and trying to shoot the Panther first.
Yeah, I always worry about the target acquisition stuff whenever you give it a manual aim point, but that's just me.
No, I know, I understand. It's sometimes AI can be a little bit silly in what it decides to blow up.
Meanwhile, down south, T-34-76s pull back a little bit. In the center side, though, we are actually going to see a couple T-34-76s start shelling this poor Flammenwerfer squad going across the open. But here we go. So 57 mil is starting to engage. He's starting to engage the half-track. This is unfortunate. Unless he's getting a manual click in there. Never mind, there we go.
There you go. Going for the Panther.
That's the right call. Unfortunately, he's not going to see the light of day.
No, he's going to get 1 shot off at least, 1 more. But not going to be enough. Too much firepower.
Now, looking elsewhere, we are seeing a couple more anti-tank guns being brought on, and we have this weird kind of anti-air net between that 37 mil from the Soviet side as well as the Dushka? Yeah, the Dushka in the middle. Look, North Stroke DPs killing a half-track, but to what end, And this German town is starting to bleed a little bit.
Yeah, it's actually pretty surprising. We're almost into B phase here, and the points have barely moved. Otto has got a little bit of an advantage over Chickendew for a brief, few seconds, but it's still neck on neck, and both sides are really pulling their punches. I mean, both divisions have access to pretty good tanks, pretty good infantry. I'd give it more towards Vyborg. I mean, this is going to be a pretty, stand-up fight, I think. Oh my god, we got a pretty early off-map artillery, and it's of a rather large variety.
Well, look at it this way: you just don't see guys of that caliber much anymore.
Yeah, and that should I think that should make the town disappear in good haste.
Oh, wait, the KHT's coming forwards, so he's gonna get nailed by something, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think that's the machine gun, actually.
So is he gonna be in range of the P guns? No, he kills it.
Nope. Oh, wow. He's gonna get killed, Joe.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a Faust.
You get a flame.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised to see a flamethrower tank actually do something. Holy crap, the off-map artillery just got counter-batteried by 120 mils by accident, I think.
I honestly was actually looking at this tank aggression over here on this town, so I completely whiffed that. Ooh, and one takes a shot to the side. That was absolutely brutal from that P4.
I think what happened is Otto was targeting that Pack 40, and the mortars are just so wildly inaccurate, yet they hit the bloody off-map artillery. An off-map charge did go down, it seems. Releases get a little bit of bang for his back, and quite a bang it is.
Yeah, the Strokies, if they're not going to ground real soon, they're going to be driven into it.
Yeah. That's a, real good, happy accident here from Otto, because now he only has to worry about one of those charges and not another two more.
I'll tell you what he is going to have to worry about, though, is you look up north of a 23W, 234 Mark III, a couple squads of Pioneers, and another Panther. So this armored fist up here to the north is just getting kind of terrifying.
Yeah. It's quite funny how Rintown plays an SD2 compared to SD44. That's like a completely different beast, because you've got so many Panthers in the SD2 for Ireland. You're just the Panther spam division, and on a map like this, that is perfect. We've got a command Kubel coming in, so he's going to be getting up that chain of command rather shortly.
That's technically a Kubel?
Oh, not Kubel.
That's what SDKF said. I was like,
that's a Hanomag. My bad.
Well, it's totally fun. I was like, I don't think I've ever seen that thing before. maybe you're right. Now, I am liking this call. We actually are seeing Otto von Matic bringing in an IS-2. So, of course, not a ton of shells on that, but you desperately need something for that anti-tank, and because right now he's getting shellacked.
Yeah, and an IS-2 at long range against the Panther, I usually give it to the IS-2.
But will numbers have their own quality in this case? That's the question.
I mean, if last time we've seen this sort of battle, it was an IS-2 fighting a Panther one at a time. So, hopefully, if Chickendew knows what to do, maybe he'll, fight, two at a time, three at a time, get some artillery on the IS-2, because you don't get a lot of them with Vyborg, if I recall. So, everyone you knock out is worthwhile.
It's certainly true. I'm going to be watching this duel here for a little bit of time.
Help! Don't know why there's a beacon there.
Well, Gondor calls for aid, that's why. You can see the beacons are lit. In fact, the help beacons
as well. I can see a little line across the edge of the map here.
Exactly. I mean, actually, that's all the little smoke that you see coming from the towns. Those are the beacons of Amun Ray? I forget what it is.
Once a 30-minute mark hit, we're just going to see a giant cavalry charge coming from the north. It's going to be a bright light. We're like, Gandalf! You're finally here! Which side is he charging for? Who knows?
The second Blinde comes in from the east side of the map.
Mad.
A line of honeys. But actually, I completely missed this. We have the Strokey DPs get in there. Wow, how the heck did they get through that?
Smoke, man. Good use of smoke. I love that use of smoke play. And those Strokeys are sneaking up through the forest.
No, I don't think they're going to get anything done other than maybe taking out this P-Ground squad. But that is still really, really nifty. I was not expecting that kind of assault. Ooh, should have knocked out the Panther. What the heck's engaging the Panther? Oh, that's really...
E34.
In the meantime, worth noting, the IS-2 has taken out one of the pursuers. Took out the P-34 leader, and he's starting to assert himself on those Pioneers outside that town.
Yeah, it's a sneaky spot. He barely has a line of sight on the supply road into the town, so he can really make it a bit of a hell to get inside said town.
Yeah, and as at this time, I don't think there's going to be enough troops on the way to just kind of hold that. In fact, these Otto Machikis coming on, and these guys, of course, are devastating in close order.
Yeah.
They do have to take out that one last... Yep, okay. I do not relish the attack coming back the other way from these Pioneers. Even these half-tracks coming in, I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah, the Otto's infantry is definitely rounding in, and there's also strokey DPs there of some rather fit and anti-tank rifles,
Yes.
which would love to meet Yotano mags.
Yes, I mean, it's wonderful to see the kind of sociality these guys have overall. By the way, to the north, the strokey DP push is down.
Yeah.
PTRDs can see the half tracks, and they're starting to engage them as we speak. I can see a couple of kills pretty quickly. Down south, checking back in down there for a moment. Not a whole lot. Continue to just kind of slumber a bit. The sleeping giant does not want to awake.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say that I blame him. And you know what? Actually, I really like Chickendew's, let's say, pulling back of that P3 and that Panther. I mean, usually, and I'm the first to be a victim to this, I keep my troops on the front line until they die or they kill what they're aiming at.
Same here, I'm not gonna lie. But that's a good call. Maybe to bring in some extra armor, you know, bank it all up. Or bring in a Panzerwaffe and a Hummel. That works too.
I was just some recon, but that's true also. So the Hummel, you know, we know this guy right here. He's not very good with music. He's not really a guy for karaoke. He just hummels along. And the Panzerwaffe, what do you think? Are we going to see an immediate call-in of that strike on the infantry, the center flag?
I'm guessing that's what he's going to try and do. I'm actually really curious to see the Hummel. It's something we rarely see anymore. It's still a pretty decent powerhouse for an artillery piece. It's just very expensive.
Yes, it is. Now, we are at this Pack 40 75mm is engaging at IS-2. That the IS-2 still has a couple... Yeah, he still has his fair share of shells.
Yep.
But you gotta be careful. Thankfully for him, the Pack 40 is out of the APCR shells.
The best he can do is maybe get a critical hit. It's a 2-star Pack 40, so he ain't messing about.
Yeah, but you know what? If, No, you know what? I can't make that comment. This is still a family-friendly video, more or less. Churchills are coming in, as well as another T-34-76. Not really sure if that's the best option. Yep, here's the Panzerwaffe shelling the western side of the town. We have a column of Pioneers being brought on in just now from the western edge of the map. Regrettably, I think if these strokey DPs move to the west, they can set up another defensive line pretty easily.
Yeah, and we got more strokeys being brought in. I think it's going to be a real crap shot for Chickendew to take that town, especially right now. You still don't get a lot of infantry for Grindhound. It's really just like... Panzergrenadier is good, but you don't get a lot of good quality infantry, is what I'm trying to say, so...
That's true.
It's just... It gets a little bit tough.
Worth noting, down south, the stalemate, or the unofficial truce, is off. Christmas has come and gone. We still do have... What do you think of those P3s? There were P3Ls there. There's no smoke. There's no... Unless that's... No, it's not.
Oh, they're dead.
Oh, wow, jeez.
South of the Chernos.
Oh, I guess what probably happened between the Combrati has fired one shot, and the Zis-2 has fired most of his APCR shells. Okay, so there we go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a real good sneaky push there from Otto, actually pushing on the southern side, getting that flag under his control, and it's a pretty easy area to hold for him now. I mean, he's got bloody Zis-2 and an IS-2 looking down the road. Nothing's coming down now.
And if nothing else, you're really diluting the strength of the troops as they're coming through, so that's really well done. Now, I'm curious. Those Pioneers, they're all being given orders to move in, but to make any kind of drive forward is going to be just hell.
Yeah.
And that's why. Stuka comes in, it's not going to be enough, though. It's not going to be enough. Not by a long shot.
You got a Hurricane trying to intercept, but as we know, slow plane is really hard to intercept. But Hurricane is also rather slow, so maybe I have a good shot.
Not with an intercept vector like that, though.
Nope. Any day now. Oh no, he might. I mean, he's got 420 mils. There we go.
Oh yeah, no, honestly, if you can get beyond with the Hispano, like, autocannons, that, yeah, they could definitely do something, but, jeez, it takes forever and a day. And that push moving into the town is completely gone, and the Panther goes down as well from the IS-2, so that's a big loss right there.
The IS-2's been a real champ. He's just been holding down that entire line pretty much by himself, being forced to push back now due to a little bit of overwhelming firepower. But he's done his job.
I would like the autocannon, plane here. Ooh, weapons jam, never mind. I'll say strafe a ground target or two, but Mobovagan convinces him to not stay.
Mm-hmm. Rather convince an argument with that cannon. I'd
Yeah.
be convinced.
You know, and that's the thing, isn't it? He's got a much louder mouth than that plane does right now.
Yeah.
So 120 mils are still in play. Ooh. I'm seeing an Su-76 shelling the north.
Oh wow, yeah.
A couple of them, in fact. Well, and the IS-2 play is strong with this one. We are into Phase C. In fact, 30 seconds in. And I think Otto von Matic just said, you know what, I'm going to wait till Phase C. If I can wait that long, I can take this fight. Good lord, I mean, was it 3 or 4 coming to the front right now?
Yeah, that's a lot of IS-2s. I forgot this is the IS-2, not Super Spam Division, but they got a healthy number. And also they got Churchill Mark IVs, which is a rather unique tank.
Now explain why, sir.
It's slow as hell.
That is very true. I just thought there was a rather...
No, it's just really slow. Crap. I mean, it's not crap in game per se, but it's not super amazing either. It's just very slow.
IL-2 with Napalm is going to go and hit the north. These two Pioneer squads are going to find themselves feeling a little bit of warm and fuzzy here, I imagine. Yeah, it's going to get ugly fast.
See if Ashley does anything. Well, yeah.
You killed about a squad's worth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's successful.
Messerschmitt. Holy crap, IL-2 actually gets, like, shot down by an airplane. We need to bring the press.
It's a shitty airplane. It's a Napalm 1. There's like self-sealing tanks. We don't believe in those. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't know if that is the case or not. But come back the other direction. Let's actually see the ME-109 go down.
Maybe.
There we go.
Yeah, okay.
Jeez.
I-4
As the KF said, just kind of chilling. Down south, the forest has gone to the Reds, and unluckily for the German tanks right back there, they have nobody to spot for them.
Nope.
So as we're seeing this other kind of T-34s being snuck in around to the southern side, ooh, this could be a really nifty flank.
We are seeing a Panzer Rifle and a mortar half-track, I believe,
Oh yeah.
trying to shoot down south. Which I like the call, but he doesn't have any infantry to back him up. Like, he's gonna do his fantastic barrage here, and then all he has is 2 tanks, which are blind as the bat to make a push.
Well,
Not the best call.
regrettably, he's not even aiming for the infantry in the forest. He's aiming for the ZIS-2, which I get. I really do.
And the ZIS-2 definitely got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
IS-2 not so much. He's like, rockets? Must be raining outside.
Well, actually, like seeing it, we have actually a Russian 88 down south as well. Sorry, I guess a Russian 85 if you prefer. But that dual purpose is still extremely deadly.
Yep. It's got a good line of sight over a large open area.
Yes, indeed. So, you were saying before about Windhound with the minimal infantry. Is that what's going on now? Because I don't think I've seen really that much German foot afoot.
Yeah, it's really not been that many. I mean, really, with Windhound, you just kind of take the Panzer Grenadiers unvetted, just the regular non-Panzerfaust one, because then you get the 9, 18, 27 for, like, quantity of them. But, I mean, on this map, it's sort of mapped to be Windhound, because it's not super infantry-focused. But by George, you definitely do need a little bit more than what he has. So he's finally getting some Pioneers down south now, some more Pioneers up north. Actually, very much focusing on just Pioneers overall.
Which is a great thing, but let's not mistake the Pioneers' quality as being able to be a multi-purpose. They are an assault infantry pure and simple. That anti-tank is completely absent.
Yeah, and also the Russian infantry just is like heads on tails better than what anything Chickendew can bring out.
Yes.
I mean, right now we got this Stoma Viki Strokey DP push being brought in. That is a scary force of firepower. I mean, there's not a single boat action rifle between them, unless you count the anti-tank rifle. That's a little bit different.
And even then, though, I think the bolt-action rifle might be about as useful.
Yeah.
Now, if there is one thing that is going to go well for them in the north, is the fact that they have these two Panther Gs.
Mm-hmm.
Scary-ass vehicles.
Yeah. Maybe not the best position to be in, so close to set infantry. Only AT rifles, but it can still, you know, put a hurt on you. And those Panther Gs are perfect for dealing with the IS-2, so they do have the AP shells until they get killed by an IS-2 first shot.
Yeah, I was going to make a note of that. I was like, I'm you know,
Yeah.
on paper, fantastic. But...
But it was IS-2's just king of long range, man.
Munitions truck? Okay, no, munitions truck reposition for the Su-76. I saw the mortars getting suppressed like crazy. Ooh. So, the Strelkys and the Stromovikis are getting across that road into the next forest, and yes, they're going to get pounded into dust, but they are going to go and still hold up any potential German assault there.
Yeah, that's a really good position to hold on to, because it's another protective layer before you get into the town, and it's pretty easy to hold. You just put infantry spread out all over if AT happens, and nothing's going to come through that crossroad.
Oh man, they threw one of their really, really valuable frag HE shells over at them.
Oh no.
I know. Otherwise though, these tanks are not going to penetrate those Panthers though, so I'm not entirely sure what he thinks he's doing.
Maybe he get lucky, but probably not. As we clearly see, the Panther G demonstrating its high armor penetration value.
Unfortunately for these intrepid Russian defenders, we are going to see these Pigarens and more half-tracks being brought on in, and yes, we actually 3 squads already been forced to surrender. The 4th one going to follow very quickly. And that breakwater that we were expecting is broken.
Yeah, and we've got a bunch of Stukas now being brought in. I think he's just kind of... He's got a few of them targeted at a tank, one of them blind firing into a town block.
This is not going to be wonderful for them. There's going to be a huge amount of spread here in a second.
Yep.
Wow,
Ooh,
Churchill goes
wow.
down. That's a shock.
Hey man, I was not expecting that. A Hurricane and Messerschmitt going at it, battle Britain style, but on a different front 4 years later.
On the LA-7, getting in behind? No, never mind. Too nimble.
Yeah.
Hurricane trying to extend for home. ME-109 maybe going for a deflection shot? Nah, he might get in behind. Oh, never mind.
Gonna play it safe. Don't want to fall into that Russian anti-aircraft net, as we saw last time. Stuka goes down now.
After checking out to the south, that Soviet position has broken again. But as I say that, and some officers do go down, these pioneers have to somehow get across this road, which is not going to happen.
No. 2 Churchills on IS-2 is going to prevent that from happening.
And Stromovikis with flamethrowers are coming on through. Panzerwerfer, though, is going to go shell that center town and does take out a munitions vehicle. So, unfortunately, did not get it before the IS-2 got fully resupplied.
This might start to be a turning point for Chickendew here. The town is pretty clear apart from one very angry Russian tank that's rather heavy, but don't tell him yet. And, you know, down south manages to take out 7th Flag. I mean, Otto is still on good footing, but if now was the time to, you know, put the pedal to the metal, this is the time for Chickendew.
It is entirely possible. I still wouldn't be super enthusiastic about that.
Yeah.
However, we are at that Pack 40 down south is reaping a bloody tally. Already taken out one of the Churchills. Very quickly going to take out the second one here. 3, 2, 1, and... Kadoosh.
Boom! Crack, backle, and pop was a Churchill.
Now, I do have to ask, is that was actually the elves say for your Rice Krispies up there in Canadian?
Yes.
Okay.
It's snap, crackle, and pop.
That's what I thought so. I just wanted to double check to make sure we were still united by a common language. So one way you know, man. What do your cereal mascot say?
Yeah. It's like going to a foreign country and seeing a McDonald's. It's like, I know I'm home.
We have allies.
Yeah. The American Embassy road ride.
Yeah. More than blue jeans, we have fast food.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that big boned IS-2 realizes that maybe he needs to go on a little bit of a diet before he does diet, and backs away from that town. Even as his own Otto Chikis go through a northern forest, And they could be very, very competitive, I would say, for the most part, against these Pioneers, but they're already pinned down, so I'm really confused. Oh, 2 squads, that's why. Silly me.
We've got a lot of smoke being dropped in from both sides. I mean, that smoke that Chickendew is dropping actually benefited Otto more than anything, allowing him to get the Sturmovikis safely into the town and into some rather sturmy positions.
Well, I love seeing we have 3 IS-2s just mobilizing, going around this town here.
Oh.
This is going to be very bad.
Yeah. If we go... Right, it's starting to become a big tank battle now.
Well, that's the kind of beautiful thing, though, when it does happen.
Yeah. I've seen, like, you know, the big tanks go at it for a change. Because usually a lot of the, you know, replays you see a lot of people sticking with the smaller, medium tanks, which is, you know, to be expected. They work really well if you know what you're doing. And you get a lot of them, so if you die, you don't care.
The Sturmovikis, in the meantime, they're going to stop this immediate push, forcing some huge amounts of fallback. And oh my god, that was devastating.
Yeah, it's the power of, like, you know, Kimber-in flamethrowers, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, and 2-star veterancy to boot. Holy crap. That's nuts.
Jeez. That was what, 3 or 4 squads came through, and now we have 1 squad and a very freaked out half-track.
Yeah.
But it is back to 12-12, so Chickendew is scratching back. I'm a little confused to see what Otto von Matic can do against such reckless hate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chickendew is starting to put on an offensive. I do find it funny how Chicken's managed to hold a middle flag this entire time with just a half-strength Panzer Grenadier squad. They've just been chilling in an open field, probably just having a picnic, as the war rages around him.
Well, the Chernos are in that swamp. I mean, they took a mortar barrage or 2 early on, but that was kind of like, huh.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're mosquitoes. I'm not a big fan of that, but it's kind of nice here.
Yeah, better than being hit by actual mosquitoes.
True. I haven't even thought about their bit of a bite there. Down south, in the meantime, we're going to have this KHT-130. Is he going to go for it? No, it's probably not a great idea for him. That little Zippo lighter. Yeah, Chermakov, I'd be shaken as well. Not stirred. Falling back, okay.
Yeah.
But more Junkers being brought on in. Looking to go after these 2 IS-2s. I don't know that they're going to get very far.
No. I mean, if they do drop the bombs, there's a good chance, but having them so close together means they both take morale damage as good old friends. And they're both gonna fall back like good old friends. They might both get shot down like good old friends. We'll see.
Well, one goes down from ground fire.
Yeah.
Panzer from barrage going after the IS-2s. Not doing much, but because that's freaked them out, I imagine.
Yeah, the other guy's not going to join in the suicide pact. He's going to get out, which is probably a smart move. And more Panzerwerfers. Gotta admit, Chickendew's been using those Panzerwerfers quite religiously this match, using them to counter battery tanks, battery infantry, just battering everything.
I mean, that's what you want to see. But, you know, Panzerwerfers and airplane werfing bombs in every direction, that is not a victory make.
No, he's keeping Otto from taking any more ground with the use of artillery and whatnot, but he's not really getting much ground back, yo. So, to be fair, I want to say it's pretty even Stevens and, like, who's going to win the long game. I want to give it a little bit more to Chickendew because of his income curve, but I think both sides have run pretty heavy for those C-phase cards. So I think at 40 points isn't going to matter as much as, you know, Chickendew would think it would.
Well, and we have this fight every single time we see a Vintown division. I'd love to agree with you. I really would. But Otto right now, he's going to have the numbers here. I mean, the Rocks, yes, for the moment, they're totally behind enemy lines. I completely agree with you there.
Yeah.
But an understrength P-Grunt squad and a half-track, that's not going to hold the town.
Yeah. To be fair, Chickendew's like 6 Panthers up north.
Yes.
He has them all like spread up in a gun line, ready to go. When is he going to use them, though?
Well, and that's certainly a question, isn't it?
And hopefully it will be answered.
That's certainly a very good hope, I imagine. Looking elsewhere, we still do have this Su-76 that, and down the medium south, that could be dropping smoke in front of those Panthers. We could see some aggression over here. You have to take out this half-track, and we are going to see a 1311 at long last.
Mm-hmm.
And, ooh, what just
14.
a beautiful shot from long range after that Panther. IS-2s are approaching, and they're starting to pick off their opposite numbers here.
Yeah. Those IS-2s are goddamn scary. Like, they have, like, really accurate guns. I know especially for me, when I see Russian tanks, like, the guns are more inaccurate. Which is true, but it's not really that big of a deal. The stuff is pretty accurate in this game regardless, even when it is a little bit less accurate in the high German precision guns, yada yada.
Well, we are actually seeing right now that the real accuracy here is Otto's starting to snowball.
Mm-hmm. Those ISs are just really going in well for him, and he's managing to engage these Panthers in small groups at a time. If all of these 6 Panthers were to engage these 2 IS-2s, I would give it to the Panthers, but because he's just kind of, throwing them away one by one, it's not going to work for Chickendew. And, just the northern side has completely collapsed, it seems. Like, 8-16.
But that's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, mono things are great for first dates or, Wild Westerns, but you don't do that in any kind of battlefield scenario. You have to go and pile on as much as you can. You have to beat the other guy into the dirt.
Yeah. Like, fighting those IS-2s without, the artillery fire support helping out at that exact moment, or, if the numbers not going to work. Those things beat out your German tanks, and there goes the Moberwagen, and we got the push through the town. Yeah, I think Chickendew, he's pretty much done for at this point, it seems.
And every single time you look, it's that moment in the movie when it's like the intrepid defenders get taken out one by one. You start seeing these Panther tanks going down. It's like, ooh, he went down. Ooh, the guy next to him as well. Ugh.
And you can't really be affording to lose that many Panthers. I mean, that's 5 Panthers gone in 2 minutes. 6 Panthers, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Half a dozen. Baker's dozen's 13. And we need like another 7.
Baker's half a dozen.
Baker's half a dozen.
6.5. Yeah, I mean, I really, really did love this Panzer. First, I loved the use of artillery. I thought it was a really, really great job with that. But right now, his artillery is getting counter-batteried very successfully.
Yeah, it was 120 mils doing, and Su-76, doing a real lovely job.
And he looks like we have one last throw of the dice here. I mean, it's 5 minutes left, but I don't know how much really Chicken's got left in the coup. 3 Panther A's. I feel like this is the bulk of what remains of his tank force.
Yeah. And he's on even the G1s. They don't have the APCR shells, which do help out against getting that, not killing IS-2s, but getting that first penetration hit. That might get good critical to shut them up for a little bit.
Ooh, and that's also unfortunate, too, that Ju-87 gets freaked out at the absolute last possible second.
You think he could have just went through with it, but no. No.
No, because I think it's like, you know what? Oh, you found me. We're playing hide and seek. You found me. I'm not going to go and be a pain.
Yeah. The Panthers are engaging 3 versus 2. They're moving, yo. You might want to stop the Panthers, Chicken, please. Please stop him.
You don't have your stabilizers. You're not Shermans.
No.
Let's get some.
Maybe spread them out as well. I mean,
it's oddly horrifying to go down. You can't see any of the insignias anymore. You just see these shells come out of nowhere to obliterate one or the other.
Damn, those IS-2s are tanking those shots.
Yes, they are. Chickendew taps out the last bit there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Good game, man. Like 2,500. It didn't feel like it was that much of a difference, but I think it was towards the end where all those Panthers were just kind of going kaput.
Well, we do see that one Garen.
Yeah.
The IS-2 at 1, 2, 4 tanks. 3 of them are Panthers.
I don't think an IS-2 died that match.
Well, we'll check in a second.
Take the losses.
Ooh, wow. You take a look at that. In the meantime, man of the match, the IS-2 Chuchumachi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kills with another couple of half tracks in there. Yeah, I mean, that's...
Tank ace.
All right, losses like you said. Do I see? I don't see any. You're right. I don't think there's an IS-2 among this.
Yeah, I think I was like, it really just came down to who had the thickest skin, and I mean, if you meant to pretty much buy out all the IS-2s in your division and have them on the field, that's just so much more overwhelming firepower.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very, very long game, but very, very one. There's still one that having the edge of my seat. I kept waiting for Chickendew.
Yeah,
That last second push that just like rupture the center or to aggress a little bit more on the southern flank, perhaps.
it felt pretty neck and neck for the majority of the match, which is a good replay because usually, you know, when matches go on for longer than 30 minutes, it's just a slog of nothing really happening. Oh, by the way, his replay was sent in from Otto, so the reason we announce it at the end of the replay is because usually when someone sends in a replay, it's a replay they've run, so don't want to give away spoilers or
Not too quickly, anyway.
the victory. Yeah, we gotta let the betters put in their bets.
Exactly. By the way, did you clean up on tonight? I did.
Pardon?
On the bets, did you beat the spread? I did.
Oh no, I've lost everything. I'm going to mortgage my house again.
Oh dang, dude. I
I know. I even saw the replay beforehand. I'm just really bad at betting.
That short-term memory, we really got to work on that.
It was a 50-50 chance. I thought I had a chance.
Folks, with that in mind, though, don't let yourself forget we do have another game coming up on Thursday, as we always do. A real humdinger as well. So, Rank, any final thoughts?
None whatsoever.
Folks, in the meantime, please stay healthy, stay safe, and we will see you on Thursday. I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangaroo. Take it easy.